go to my favorite table.
The table of things.
Yes.
The thing resistance chart.
Thin wood. Acid, crushing blow, normal blow. This is a crushing blow. It does save. This particular round, it is resisting.
Yep.
And you are busy cracking at the keg.
Yep.
And you just are on a carpenter and you hit against the grain, which was a bad idea or something like that. So, yeah. And so, fathers everywhere weep. What have I told you, son? So that is your situation, but it is under cover of darkness.
Yep.
There's really no way for them to be able to tell.
Yep.
And so it's just a matter of how much damage gets done to Osborne while you are doing this. Why don't you roll again?
Yep.
And see if you can get under a 13.
Yep.
And you do. So the second minute in, but that means in the meantime, oh, they roll much worse this time. They must be getting in each other's way.
Yeah.
Oh. No, they haven't. He wiggles. he wiggles and is shouting, Martin, are you all right?
Sure. I'm
You
fine.
Right, he's following your voice.
Yep.
Other people are like, there they are, over there, and so rushing about, and it's a mess.
Yep.
Right, but Osborne and you are able to find each other, and identify each other, perhaps in a brotherly way. Come into contact, and what will you do?
Are there any more kegs, or are we done with that?
I know you have done that.
Yes, okay. I'm just asking, what should we do now?
He smells it and goes, oh, it smells terrible.
Yeah, I know. Should we, yeah.
But we have to explain to these poor people.
Is it really sermon time again?
Is that a trick question?
No, you're right. It's sermon time. Tell the sheep, the flock.
Right.
To behave.
Well, we'll get to that in a moment. Meanwhile, we have a fight to tend to here. We are going to see how you are doing. You did hit the guy, and he didn't hit you, which was enough, actually, as I said before, to actually get him to get off the eel. But what this means is that since you only did one hit point, I'm going to say that you didn't knock him off. He is forced to get off because he cannot fight effectively from the eel who is fighting all these people. So, with the people against the eel, I want to see who goes first. So roll a d6. But with you and Vas here, that does not entail. This is not, yeah. So this is not for you and Vas. This is for the men against the eel. 2. Oh. Okay, so roll. How many of them? The poor bastards are left. There were 1, 2, 3. Wow, the men are doing very good. 1 does pretty badly against the eel. 2d6 against the eel, which is only 4 points, but where did my eel go?
Can't use eel with English.
There we go. And then it, on the other hand, gets 3d6 damage.
The
He has to hit them.
eel itself is attacking.
The men.
Yeah.
But the point is that you got simultaneous initiatives, so all the attacks get in. Nobody preempts an attack. And he, 16 points of damage, kills another one. So it might be good to take care of Bast before the eel is free. Or to somehow maneuver the fight away or something like that. But now you and Bast are squaring off. He's got his lance and you've got your longsword.
Yeah.
And it is not made for the kind of maneuverability of a spear, so he's not going to be able to hold you off as effectively as he could with a spear or something similar. But it is still a dangerous weapon. It's heavy, it's pointed, and you can bash with it too. so you have to be careful. But your longsword is more maneuverable, so you're getting in the first strike.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, no.
Whereas, and yes, so there is an inconclusive clash during this period of the fight, which is not so good considering that the eel is whittling down the guys. Right. You are capable of spell casting, although it's quite difficult in a melee.
Yeah,
You would have to. Right.
The eel is just straight up killing all of them.
Well, one by one.
So, meh. The only thing I would be able to cast would be like protection from evil.
That's not as clear. I mean, if we are going with basic iconography, these guys don't give off like they don't have like some sort of ideology or something that's really obvious.
Yeah.
The guys on the pyramid, they do. And yeah, they are. What happened to my hobgoblins? Or rather, they are called the Kaolith because they are aquatic. Yeah. If you could understand their language, you would realize that they give the mighty shout of the marrow suckers, as they call themselves, and that's when that is when I am sad to say that the heavy weapons start being used. I have my notes. What happened to my notes? Ballistae, light catapults, and ballistae, and these guys, right. They are able to get their trebuchet ready. Your side has the trebuchet that they are wheeled up and are going to be able to lob into the pyramid, sides of the pyramid. Heavy stones, but the ballistae that is unfolded from the top of the pyramid is a very, very nasty weapon. And just so you know, and this is going to sound funny at first until you think about it, they are actually using barrels of water, which as a long distance missile weapon with an arc is actually a pretty nasty thing to be hit by. So, it doesn't have a lot of spatter damage potential outside of a certain range, but in its range of impact, it's quite lethal. So, that's not attacking you. They're not lobbing those into the melee, right, full of their own guys. But it's now arching above you. The trebuchet versus the ballistae is occurring now. So you are in super war zone at the moment. All right, let's go another round. For a d6 for the men. Hope that they get in there first and maybe hit this time. So you do. Okay, so roll now. There are 4 of them left. Roll 4, the d20 4 times. Let me quick double check my eel. I think they're all like armor class 6. It's like, oh, yeah, armor class 6, 6, 6, which makes it easy. So their roll to hit against 6 is not as good as yours, but I think it's going to be a 14 or higher.
I mean, just roll how many times?
5. 4. Oh my god. All 3 of them hit. One more time. There are 4 of them, not 5. One more time. Okay, well, we'll take that guy. And so, why not? Little luck never hurt. So, now roll all 4 of them hit, so that's 4d6. Maybe they've got a chance here. Okay, that's 9. 2 more. Oh, 9 is 12. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 12. Okay, that's over half of his hit points. It fails its morale. The eel is too wounded and it's fleeing. It doesn't have its leader. It's been dismounted and the guys have hurt it too much for it to stay. So that's good news for you.
Yeah.
So now it's your chance to hit last again. D20. Yeah. And you do. Okay, so now the D8.
What?
That's better. Ooh, but he is also doing a bit better. 4, and we're going to treat this as you are going to take 5 hit points of damage as well. So the two of you wound each other. He's worse off than you. He has taken more damage.
Yeah.
But the two of you are now in a very bloody fight, and a number of the fighters, the fish guy fighters, have fallen back into more of a defensive formation as best as they can. And they seem to be paying a lot of attention to what is going on here.
Yeah.
In a way, you can look at it this way: whichever one of you loses, the other side is going to charge with a lot of determination. So the guys with the swords, they actually should be supporting your group. Oh no, they are supporting you. They've been fighting the eel.
Yeah.
The guys with the spears are the ones I'm talking about. They are the spearmen, bloodhawks are curious about what's going to happen in this fight, and the fish guys with their lances are curious about what's going to happen in their fight. And the ones with the crossbows have shot their bolts and they are done. There's no more crossbow shooting in this particular melee. There's just not time to recock. They don't have the defensive formation that they would need in order to take the time to cock their crossbows again.
Yeah.
So is this making sense about what's happening here?
Since I presume they're using heavy crossbows,
Exactly.
which take
Exactly.
once sometimes.
Exactly correct. Yeah. Even light crossbows in this system are pretty cumbersome. Now, who are we leaving out? You guys.
No, wait.
Yeah.
So one time is the rest of the group doing now that they have now that the eel has retreated?
They are going to try to organize the spearmen.
Okay.
The Bloodhawks. They're going to try to keep them from. This was pretty scary fighting against these eels and things, and so they are going to try to organize the spearmen so that they can keep the eels from dominating the fight. The fact that they took one down or made it flee has definitely made an impact on the attitude of the others. So that's what they are doing. But no, they're not going to help you because this is very much a designated single combat. They are, how am I going to put it? They're putting a lot of hope into you. Their morale that you are blessed. I'm going to treat that as very level-headed leadership toward the rest of the Bloodhawks, which I think is probably the best way to look at it. So you can realize that they know they are not going to break and run. They are not going to do anything like they're going to use good tactics to organize everybody. So that's the idea. But unless you tell them to, they're not going to step forward to help you. they are seeing this as kind of a leader on leader kind of duel, and either you accept that or you say, okay, that's enough of fighting this guy. Let's all fight together now. You know, that's kind of up to
Depends on if I'm losing.
you. Well, right now you are a little bit ahead. Is all I can say. Yeah. So, yeah, you're good. You're not stupid. There is a difference.
Yeah.
So, and I mean, if this wasn't art, excuse me, you know, we have a job to do. You know, that's not,
Little help?
yeah, or you know, it's not a fucking movie. You know? So, okay, so that's a possibility. Now, geez, I'm feeling bad, but how about you're kind of out of the zone, so, okay. But I think that takes us through where we're at now. And we have a sermon to deal with. We have a slightly longer term adventure for you. And then for the two of you, we have a scary horror house. Yeah, as far as strolling around is concerned.